So what is boxing without being thrown the proverbial curveball, right? What's going on, everybody? So word broke yesterday, and there's a reason why I didn't want to make a video quick, and I'm not somebody that it's like breaking news kind of person. I like to let things marinate, if you will, just to, to see what the overall deal is. And sometimes news gets rushed out there, but needless to say, this looks as if it's happening, okay? I literally put a video up a couple of weeks ago, last week, as it concerned the potential of David Benavidez going to face Canelo Alvarez this May. Well, in steps the curveball, right? As we are getting word from the WBC convention, it's already been made mention, the WBC has approved this. Canelo Alvarez is yet again going not another one-up weight class. He technically has a light heavyweight title on his resume. He is now going to Cruiserweight to fight current WBC Cruiserweight champion, excuse me, I'm going to butcher his name, Ilunga Makabu. I mean, again, I wanted to wait and not like make a breaking video because I wanted to just absorb this, see the angle of where Canelo and team are going for. And look, yo, shout out to the crew, shout to Train who is, I give credit to, who has been saying this for the better part of a year and change. Canelo Alvarez is the flagship fighter of boxing right now, or I should say, the cash cow. All eyes are on him, and to I guess exemplify what Train has said for the past year, man, is I feel Canelo, his MO going into fights, right? I mean, he unified 168, man. Like you can't take that away from him. But I feel Canelo is fully aware of his position in boxing, and they're going to paint these fights, whether it's like in the immediate or until like his career wraps up. I feel there's always going to be like a caveat. I mentioned this in a prior video. Like there's going to be a caveat. And I feel with David Benavidez and Charlo, their caveats, at least from what they see, okay? Some of y'all may disagree. I really don't. I don't have a horse in the race when it concerns Canelo or anybody he fights. But I just think that their approach is going to be to try to make each one of their fights have some kind of meaning to it, okay? Like excluding Anvi Yildirim, right? His approach for the last 2 years has been to unify the super middleweight division. He did it in a year's time. So naturally people would think, oh, well, why don't you go do that at light heavyweight? Well, there comes the risk and reward factor, right? And all fighters at this level, whether you want to believe it or not, they do weigh it out. It's why you're not going to see Terrence Crawford fight Boots Ennis right now, or Errol Spence fight Boots Ennis, and things of that nature, okay? It's the same reason why you're not going to see Canelo Alvarez get in there with Artur Beterbiev. Or dare I should say at this point, whether you're talking about Benavidez and Charlo, a guy like Ilunga Makabu is getting the Canelo sweepstakes because he holds a title in a division that Canelo has never fought in. But truth be told, he's not exactly fighting the upper echelon of the cruiserweight division. Now look, Alexander Usyk, he was the undisputed champ. The titles, he vacated all the titles, and now you're left with the guys that have either fought for the vacant titles, and some of those guys are guys that Usyk has, brushed shoulders with or still in the division. But, this is a guy that got stopped by Tony Bellew, okay? Who, again, had a good fight with him, but Canelo Alvarez, like all fighters before him, will fight the big fights, But they are the controlling factor at the end of the day, man. And whether people like it or not, I'm not too crazy about this fight because I get what it is. And I understand people want to see him fight Benavidez and Charlo and these guys. But I'm going to say this before I wrap up. I think in a weird kind of way, this is a good thing as it concerns these other guys that they want the Canelo sweepstakes, but like you guys gotta like fight each other, create your own legacy. I wanted to make a video about this, but I feel the one division right now that could be the next one to have an undisputed champion is middleweight. You have two guys right now in Golovkin and Murata who are about to unify there. Charlo and Boo Boo need a dance partner, right? A big dance partner. Why hasn't that been made? And then the winners of those fights can fight for the undisputed middleweight championship. You know, instead of like coattailing Canelo, which, truth be told, I feel Jamal, Bubu Andrade, and Gennady Golovkin have all been doing for the better part of 3 years. To no avail. When they could have just been fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? And I think, in a weird way, Canelo's move is forcing that hand. The only guy that is saying that he wants to fight any of those other guys is David Benavidez. He's the only one. He's the only one. Unfortunately, he ain't gonna get the crack at the title yet. I think he's in time. He's gonna have his day in the sun, man. I really do. I like Benavidez, but it just is what it is, man. Like I'm not very amped about Canelo fighting, you know, going up to Cruiserweight to fight this dude for a title, again, to be a 5th division world champion. I get it. Like, I get it. But chances are that's happening May Cinco de Mayo weekend. You have the caveat there. They're going to sell it like Canelo's going. Is he going to be the first potentially 5 division champion? Isn't that Oscar? Lightweight. He won a title lightweight, right? Am I wrong? 140, 147, junior middleweight, and technically middleweight. That's 5. So it wouldn't be the first time, I guess, like of like, yeah, but Oscar, he's Mexican American, but he's Mexican. Like his parents are Mexican. That's a whole nother story. So, but I don't know, man. What do y'all think? Canelo going up to Cruiserweight for a 5th division world title. Is he stepping on? Is there risk there? Even against this guy, is there risk there? 200 pounds, right? Let's see. I'm more interested in the return back and what he's going to do. Because to go from Cruiserweight and then you're going to go back to 168. We saw a fighter go from heavyweight to light heavyweight again, and it didn't pan out well. And y'all know who I'm talking about. So, in any case, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think of Canelo going to Cruiserweight this Cinco de Mayo. And what about these other guys, man? Do they got to fight each other? I think so. Absolutely, man. You want the Canelo sweepstakes and you want to make real money off that fight? I think these guys got to create their own lane and somehow meet up with Canelo. Which I think when the smoke clears, one of those guys is going to be there. And I think that's just what it is. So, let me know what you think. Canelo's move to Cruiserweight, at least for this fight. Let me know. Follow us at Guard Your Girl Boxing on Instagram, Facebook.com/GYGBoxing. Follow me at Roberto_Flack. Notifications, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm out. Peace.